Hello everyone, it's Miss Thomas, and today we're going to look at measures of central tendency. So we've been learning a lot of background information about statistics, and now we're actually going to do some calculations beyond just simple frequency tables and histograms. So the first thing that most people learn about when it comes to statistics are the three measures of central tendency. I will refer to them as the measures of central tendency. IB calls them the measure of center. And the idea here is that they're one number, each of them is one number that gives you a good idea or should give you a good idea of where the center of the data is. So those three measures of central tendency are the mean, the median, and the mode. I know for sure we've already discussed the mode, and my guess is you already know what a mean and a median are. So, the mean. This does not look like anything you've ever seen before. So, the mean is the average. I know you all know mean means average. And I'm sure that all of you know that to find the average, you just take the sum of everything, sum of the data, and you divide it by the number of pieces of data. So I'm sure you're wondering what on earth is on the screen right now. So you need to know X bar always means mean. That's for the sample mean. You may also see mu, that is one ugly mu. I'm going to erase that and try again. Mu, which would be the population mean. But we're almost never going to do a study with a population. We're going to usually just take a sample. So X bar represents sample mean. So statisticians, will decipher and use notation to tell the difference between information that comes from a sample and information that comes from the population. So this formula, let's start pulling it apart. You do need to know how to read math notation. To me, the mean is the easiest place to start learning that because you have a good idea of what the mean is, what the mean means. So it's a good place to start. So like we said earlier, N is always the total number of data. Okay, and we also said X bar means the mean. All right, so then what is this mess up top? Again, N means the total number of data. I is 1. The subscript I really is just the position. And the X just stands for a piece of data. Okay, this giant E, that's a sigma, and it means sum. So when I look at this, what I would say is X bar is equal to the sum of all the Xi's when I goes between 1 and N, which basically means your first through your last piece of data. Why don't we look at this? I'll add an example. I'll try to relate it to this formula. It will make a little bit more sense. So here's our example. Phil kept a record of the number of cups of coffee he drank each day for 15 days. So you drank 2, 3, 1, 1, 0, 0, 4, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 4. We want to find the mean number of cups of coffee. So first, let's think about that crazy formula we just saw. We just saw that X bar is equal to the sum of the Xi's. I is equal to 1 to N, all over N. All right, well, how many pieces of data do we have? He collected his data for 15 days. There's 15 numbers there. So that means your N equals 15. So right away we know that X bar is going to equal 15 is going to be the denominator, and it's going to be the sum of the xi's, where I runs from 1 to 15, which really just means my first through my 15th piece of data. So you're not going to need to write all of this out, but you do need to understand how it expands out, okay? So let's assign our data to an xi. So the subscripts in math really just tell you the position of something. So we have an x1, an x2, an x3. x9, x10, x11, x12, okay. These are all little equal signs, by the way. Okay. So this is an overwhelming formula to look at, but actually, when you get down to what it means, it's not that big of a deal. My x1 is 2. My x2 is 3. 1, 1, 0, 0. 4, 3, 0, 1. 2, 3, 2, 1, 4. Where did I just get those numbers? Hopefully they look familiar. They are just our pieces of data in order. So the first one is x1, second one's x2, x3, and so on, all the way through my last one, which is x up to 15, okay? So again, the xi's just mean you're adding up all of your pieces of data, and each one has a position number. That's it. So all I really need to do is add up 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus 1 plus 0 plus 4 plus 4, 3. So add all these pieces up, okay? So I'm going to do that over here. So my average is going to be 2 plus 3, and again, you don't need to write 1 plus 1, nor do you need to write all the zeros. Kind of just writing all of this out for your benefit if you need it. I'm going to actually continue adding it right there. 4 plus 3 plus 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 4. Okay? So that's all over 15, because 15 is n, is how many pieces of data we have. So our numerator is going to equal, so it should equal 27 over 15. So then 27 divided by 15 is 1.8 cups of coffee. So that's the mean, okay? The median, I think that you all know what the median is as well. Median is the middle number. And it divides the data set in half. Okay, so the steps to find the median. First, you want to order the numbers from least to greatest, and I'll show you in your calculators how to easily and quickly do that. And second, you want to find the median. It's the middle number, and I've seen people sit and count out from both sides and figure out how many they have, and count in from both sides, and that's really nice and good. But there's a quick little shortcut to finding the median. If you take n plus 1 and divide it by 2, it will tell you the position of the median. So it's not going to give you the median, it will tell you where to find it. If there is no middle number, so for example, if you have this data set, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, that's so crooked. There is no middle number. If we did n equals 4, so n plus 1 over 2, it's going to be 5 over 2, which means the median is going to be at position 2.5. which the 0.5 should be an indicator, it's between these two values. So if there's no middle number, then you're going to just find the average of the two middle values. I hope you can do this in your head, but some values, some data you won't be able to. So the median of this data would be 3.5. So half of the data falls below 3.5 and half falls above. So when we look at Phil's coffee, we're going to find the median of that. So 231100430 I'm sorry 0123214. No idea why I just read that to you, but we're going to put that in order. So the first step is to order it. 1, 2, 3 zeros. Then there are 1, 2, 3, 4 ones. Then there are I can't quite get to that 2 because it's underneath my toolbar actually, and I can't. Oh, figured it out. 1, 2, 3 2s. And then there are 1, 2, 3 3s and 2 4s. So like we said, there are 15 days of data. So to find the position, what I want to do is 15 plus 1 over 2. It ends up being 16 over 2, which is 8. So I know that my mean is in position 8. So 1, 2, 3. I love my colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So because there's no 0.5, this piece right here is actually the median. So we can double check that by seeing how many are on either side. So we already know there are 7 on this side, and then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on that side. So that shows this value, our median in this problem, equals 2 cups of coffee. And like I said, you want to be more explicit rather than less. Label everything, okay? So cups of coffee is actually the units in this problem. So then finally the mode, we talked about the mode already. The mode is the most frequent number. It will be the easiest to find, right? So when I think about my previous slide, I don't really remember which one showed up the most. I think that 1 showed up the most, right? I have 4 1s. I only have 3 2s, 2 3, 3 3s, and 3 zeros. So 1 is definitely our mode. 1 cup of coffee. Okay? So now you're going to try. A basketball team scored 43, 55, 41, and 37 points in their first 4 matches. I want to know the mean, median, and mode of this data, and then I want to know what score will the team need to shoot in their next match so that they maintain the same mean score. So that one's actually pretty challenging and tricky. That's one where I definitely want to see some work down. You won't get full credit unless you have work down for Part B. Maybe you won't know how to figure it out, but I want to see you try something, okay? Best of luck, and I'll see you in class.